My next video is about former Vice President John C. Calhoun. And a big part of that video is going to be talking about how, because of his wife, he was involved in a situation called the Petticoat Affair, which is essentially where she distributed real mean girl energy towards one of the other cabinet members' wives, and effectively got every one of the other wives to ice this woman out. And I'll talk more about that then. But in that same vein, speaking of petticoats and, well, first wives, here we are, well, second wives in her case. I found this post where they were talking about the inaugural balls since the Civil War, the dresses that the first ladies wore. And so I thought, what the heck? Just for fun, for someone who doesn't know anything about fashion, we're just going to take a look at these dresses. The most recent First Lady inaugural ball dress is this one here, uh, from last month. And I would say it's is elegant. I like the stripe. It feels like it's a plain dress trying to be edgy. Um, it's nice. The choker is an interesting accessory. This dress from Jill Biden is interesting because I love the floral of the top and the sleeves. The gloves are interesting. I assume that that's gloves. But because it looks like a spring dress with the floral, but the gloves make it look like winter. I don't know. But anyway, here's another example of a sort of a more plain, because it's just white, like a white dress, trying to look a little bit more edgy. The very subtle red belt there is nice. I like the little design there in the front. That's interesting. I like the slit, and I love off the shoulder. This dress from Michelle Obama looks fun. It looks like it's one that she could move around in, and the color is great. And I love that she's able to show off her arms. I am not in a position where I could do that, so I love that she can, and I love the way that the top goes. That's so cool. This one from Michelle Obama, the first one, is almost ethereal. It's just white. It looks feathery. I like the texture. I like how it flows. It doesn't look like it would be too tight to move in. It just looks like an enjoyable dress. I love how this one sparkles from Laura Bush. You got the nice slit there. Looks It makes it look fun. But this Laura Bush is kind of spicy. I like the red. I like that it's open more at the bottom. It looks like she could dance in it. This one from Hillary Clinton also looks like it's one that she could dance in, move nicely. Uh, but the neck, for me, no. I don't like anything touching my neck, because I am very chin sensitive, to be fair. But, some people love turtlenecks. So I think I like this one better because it kind of reminds me of old Hollywood glamour, mainly because how it comes sort of like a cape in the front. Again, I don't know fashion terms, so, but I like how it does that. See, you can see it better like that. And then the belt, and then the top. I really like this one. This is like the most formal of the formal dresses. This velvet top looks it looks like it definitely kept her warm. I don't know how comfortable it would be to move around a whole lot, the arms and the top in that kind of a fabric, but you know, this dress just looks uncomfortable. it and it looks nice, and I bet it's shimmery, but it just looks. Now this one of Nancy Reagan I like better because it looks a little bit more, I don't know if flirty is the right word, but it just looks more like the other one. It looks like she couldn't move around a whole lot. She looked kind of stiff. This one looks like she could dance. And the inaugural ball, you dance. So, but I like this one shoulder, and the gloves are fitting here for this dress. I like the pattern. It's nice. While I do like this look from Rosalind Carter, I like it because it's different compared to the others. I will say it looks like it's overdressed for the activity, as in, I'm afraid she got hot in this. Okay, so this is Pat Nixon. This is kind of like reminds me of maybe a Disney princess dress. It's pretty, and it goes out a little bit at the bottom, so it looks like she could move around in it. Even the arms don't look too tight. But to be fair, I might like this one more. Now that I think about it, the other one was kind of Cinderella, and this is sort of like Belle. It's like a take on the Disney princess before there was a take to have on a Disney princess because that wasn't a anyway. But yeah, I like the little. Speaking of Disney princesses and Belle, this is kind of like a 65 version. Lady Bird Johnson giving a 65 Belle, which is very cute. And here's Jacqueline Kennedy being Jacqueline Kennedy and perfect. Here's Mamie Eisenhower in 1957, and I really like this dress. It is stunning. I like the train here in the back. I like the pattern. I like the gloves. I like the cream color. I like everything but her hair. Her hair doesn't match. Like her hair, her dress says inaugural ball. Her hair says stay-at-home mom who is putting her hair up for the night because she is busy with the kids. Now, this version of Mamie Eisenhower to me is maybe the best one. I love her dress. It's very ball gown, and her matching purse, and her hair looks a little bit more festive for what she's doing. But I like it. It should be noted that this is Bess Truman, and for the moment and for what we can see, makes sense. And look at that coat. Get ready for a lot of Eleanor Roosevelt because her husband was inaugurated 4 times, and this one was from 1945, the last inaugural ball, and it is simple and yet elegant. This satin piece looks quite more comfortable than the other one. It looks like she could dance some. I don't know if the bottom would let her dance a whole lot, but I think she had the room to. Another simple yet stylish look from Eleanor Roosevelt with a bottom that would make it hard to dance in. This is probably Eleanor Roosevelt's most danceable dress. And it looks very nice, very fashionable for the time. Here is the dress that Lou Hoover wore for her inaugural ball in 1929. And I don't know if you can see, but it's pretty cool looking. It's got a lot of zigzag patterns. This is kind of a weird way to end a century of inaugural gown dresses, but this is Grace Coolidge's dress from 100 years ago. But you can't really see a whole lot of it in this picture, but I'm sure it was amazing. She was actually known for being quite fashionable. For more presidential history, please check any of my other videos.